Alright folks, so I've been fishing here on this bulkhead for a while, and a lot of people have been asking me a bunch of questions about why I fish so light, or why I catch more fish than they do, or whatever the case may be. And I try to explain to them that you don't have to fish heavy, and normally I don't. Normally I'll fish 1/8 ounce. 1/8 ounce is usually about as heavy as I'll fish. So I'm actually fishing with a 7-foot medium light Diawa and 15-pound Power Pro with a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader and a little 3-inch gulp. And I try to explain to people that you don't need to fish heavy, and I think that the smaller jig actually fishes a lot better. So where I'm fishing at, there's actually a current that runs through here. And when I'm fishing predatory fish, or fishing in general, I try to think about things like that current and eddies and drop-offs and stuff like that, because all those fish tend to hang down in those low spots and out of the current and wait for bait to run through. And this area's got a lot of bait: manhaden, finger mullet, and glass minnows. So that's why I scaled down the bait to look more like the hatch, match the hatch. So I'm going to try and see if I can't fish this area for you guys and show you the benefits of fishing light jig. I like fishing this light jig also because the bait seems to fall more natural, whereas when you use a heavier jig, that swim bait or stick bait or whatever you're using tends to just shoot down to the bottom real fast, and I don't think that that's a natural movement for a bait fish. So I just pitch it out and I let the current do its thing. It's so light it actually gets pushed around in the current, and I believe it mimics erratic movements of a injured bait fish and stuff like that. Sit down here, see if I can't get out of this wind a little bit. I got wind in my back. Pitch it out in that rip and just let that current move it around a little bit in conjunction with me jigging it. There we go. And that is why I love fishing light jigs. That, and I think that jig fishing is super versatile. You know, the fish can be high in the column, they could be low in the column on the bottom. So and I think that a jig is really versatile because you can fish it fast, closer to the top of the water column. You can fish it slow, or you can fish it moderately, and once you figure out where those fish are in the water column, you just keep reproducing the same thing. Got another one. Got all kinds of noise. Jet noise. We're close to the airport. Got the lawnmower guys cutting the grass. That's alright. I'm not gonna let it bother us. Oh, we just missed a good one. And I like these gulps because they look like bait fish. They tend to move fairly well. Only thing is they're fairly soft, so they can get ripped off. Excuse me. They can get ripped off fairly easily. But they're worth it, I think. And with the retrieve, I vary it up, you know, if the bite seems to slow down, but for the most part I just let it sink a little bit and I bring up the rod tip, 1 or 2 turns on the reel, just to slowly keep it coming back towards me. And I mean, I see too many people come out here, not to say that they don't catch fish or it doesn't work, but they come out here with 1/4 ounce and 3/8 ounce jigs and just burn baits back real quick, and they'll get 1 or 2 fish, or, you know, maybe no fish at all, and they just get frustrated. They get frustrated and they look over and see me catching fish. But the big thing I will say is that if you're used to fishing heavy, the fishing an 1/8 ounce jig, it takes some getting used to. I would consider it to be more like a finesse type of fishing. Because unless you're in still water, it's fairly difficult. And there goes another one on the 1/8 ounce jig. But it's fairly difficult to tight line 1/8 ounce because of how light it is. That's just one of them things. And I mean, it's tore up a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but it's still on there, so I'm gonna fish it. I'm gonna fish it till they rip it off. Like I said, that's one of the advantages of understanding how to fish, like where you're fishing. Is you could come out here and blind cast, and sure, you can definitely catch fish, but I think knowing what you're fishing makes you that much more successful. And there's another one. So, as you can see, it's a very productive way to fish. It takes a little bit of getting used to, I'm not gonna lie. But once you get used to fishing that light finesse type jig fishing, man, there's not really any other way that you can fish minus top water that gets your blood going. And you gotta jig fish, you gotta do the 1/8 ounce. You got to fish it slow. You don't want to burn it back to the boat, or you don't want to burn it back to you. You want to fish it fairly slow. But of course, you know, a lot of that's going to dictate, on how the fish are acting. Oh yeah. So one of my fishing buddies just showed up. You can be on YouTube. Huh? You can be on YouTube. I'm making a video. Trying to show people that you can fish real lightweight and catch fish.
Of course. We know that.
Just missed another one.
What are you fishing, the minnows today?
Mm-hmm.
Might as well make it a joint effort. Done.
There we go. There's another one on the 1/8 ounce. All hooked in the gill plate. Nice, good hook set. And that's that little freckled fish that we're looking for.
By the way, how did that gray trout come in?
Good.
Got a float?
Yeah, somebody was out here. When I got out here, I saw some cut bait. So I think somebody was fishing and they gut hooked that redfish, and instead of just cutting their line, I think they got their hook back. So he's floating.
Which is a normal occasion for here.
Yeah.
God, look at that. All that bait fish over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I found that little cricket right there. Found that sucker out here.
See, look, what'd you do? You showed up, now they're not biting. You need to leave. They were biting before you pulled up. You got that bad luck.
We're just waiting for this hook to touch the water.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
It's tied. Shoot, too.
Yeah, there's bluefish out here before you got here. I didn't catch any, but you could see them swimming around. There's a little school of bluefish. Yeah, I wanted to make this video earlier. I've been out here for a while. I wanted to make this video earlier, and I hooked up my battery with a cable to charge my GoPro, and the cable was bad, so it never charged it. So as much as it pained me to leave a good fish bite, I left, went to the next, and bought a cable for my GoPro, and then I just been sitting here fishing, waiting for it to charge. And it's been pretty steady action. I mean, not necessarily every cast, but it's been pretty steady. Until you showed up, now it's nothing. So hey, like you always said, you're welcome. Uh-oh, there we go. See, he's learning the ways of the 1/8 ounce jig. I taught him well. I taught him well.
Looks like they're coming up in size.
What's that?
So it looks like they're coming up in size.
Yeah. Yeah, I threw back a 16. Yeah. Right before I went and checked the battery on my camera, I caught one. Oh yeah, those are little glass minnows right there. That's what those bluefish were chasing. You see them?
Funny because I didn't feel them bite.
No, yeah. Some of these bites today have been really subtle. Almost like a tick, like you think maybe you bumped it on a rock or something, and then you got them in the mouth. But it just goes to show all you Virginia folks, you don't have to throw chartreuse curly tails all the time to catch fish, and you don't have to use a 12-ounce jig head either. It seems like that's what a lot of people throw out here. Chartreuse and big jigs. But you don't have to. And look, that was his first cast and he caught that trout. Uh-oh. Here you go. Here, let me move my line out of your way. This one might be a redfish.
Yep.
Or a nice sized trout. Let's see. Ooh, that's a trout. No, that's a redfish. There you go. Telling you people, that 1/8 ounce. Oh, you threw your little minnow.
Yep.
But it's all good though. Quick release. See, look. See? He's becoming a fishing ninja. He got that quick release down.
He's going back on the hook.
There you go.
Look, I just re-rig his ass the other way.
See, I think what happened, folks, he showed up and he started taking over my hole. He burned my hole. Oh, there we go. I spoke too soon. Ooh, just lost him. Just lost. That was a good one. But it's okay. I'll get my hole back while he's busy. That's how we do.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
That's not even where I threw that. So it's
Oh, I saw where you threw it at. I didn't want the camera people to see where you threw it at, so they don't know.
I might even let the current take it.
You're gonna get bold and it's gonna get caught on them rocks.
Yeah, man, the water's kind of high today.
Yeah, it is. It's real high. Guys from work.
That was my CMC.